So let's get started with setting up the goal scene. We've got some blocks in here and then a basic player. So what we've done before, if you've been using goals in the past, you can place a goal in the scene and then you can walk to the goal, and it's a position trigger. We're just going to kind of go through and expand on the new features and the things inside of it. Once you have the goal inside the scene, we're going to use a tile manager in the scene as well, just so that we can have a endpoint, and then we can make sure that things get applied for animations and stuff. So the tile manager needs to have a brush to say this is the goal it's going to use, so we'll tag it with this one. And then there's a few options down here for ending, and this one you don't have to use. It's not going to be necessary for this example. We're going to go ahead and go out of here. And then by default, inside of goal, if we go to our goal options here, you'll notice we have a set of goals, and one of the goal options for this one is going to be where do they go. So if we go over to our first one, which is going to be the standard game world level, it's the world level selection where you go. Currently there's I've currently got two, so I have a 1 and a 0 that I can go between. The 1 will take me to this level, and then also there is a option for losing. So if you lose a level, instead of winning, where do you want to take the player at that point? So we'll say we're going to take them both back to the same spot, but also let's say it's going to take about 3 seconds to get the player back to before they actually load the level. He'll get to the goal, it'll count 3, and then it'll start going after that point. That'll give us a little time to look at what happens at the end of it. Alright, and then when it comes to the scenario in terms of what's happening on this one, the first thing we have, and we'll go through each of these, but just to set up the generic one, by default what should be, these will be both turned off, or at least the enabled goal teams will be turned off. Be sure that that one is, if you're following along and it is on, just make sure it's turned off for this example. We're going to use the non-goal team. It's just going to be solo play, it's just single player style. What we want to do though is say that when the player is in position, so we're going to go to the goal position and say that when the player gets to the position here, that he actually wins the goal for it. The condition value means it's going to have to be true. We'll say it equals to it, and then we're also going to say instant, and we'll go over all of these in more detail so you understand what's happening there. Alright, then let's just double check, make sure that our trigger box is enabled. So we have it turned on, and we are checking for on enter, so that's going to work for us. Alright, so the again, basics, very much like you've used before. It's just going to be the position trigger. So if my player runs over and he hits it, this time because he won, he actually plays his win animation. 3 seconds goes by, and then it reloads to the winning level spot for him. Alright, so that's the kind of the premise for it, and then we'll go through and go through each of the button sets, explain what they do, and give you an idea of how you can set up some different scenarios with it.